Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is, as the title suggests, it is my full owned TBR. Now, I try and do this every year, and every year I stress myself out by taking days to do it because I own so many books. But I'm hoping that next year it will be a lot easier because I will be unhauling and reading a whole bunch with my challenge against Olivia. Now, when I started this list, I had 400 books. I have since, at that point, unhauled about 12. So I have just under 400 books in this owned TBR. We're gonna be here a while. I'm gonna get hot and sweaty, and I already know that this jumper was a mistake, but I've turned all the lights down so that I have pretty consistent lighting because I'm going to be filming this over a couple of days. Apologies if the sound and lighting is pants. I did my best, but without any more further ado, here's my full owned TBR. A Dark and Hollow Star by Ashley Shuttleworth. This was gifted to me by Kat, I think. This is the one where I don't have the Amazon note and therefore I always panic as to who bought it for me 100 years ago. So I'm sorry if it wasn't Kat, but I think it was Kat that bought me this. A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson, which I have started but barely. A Fatal Crossing by Tom Hindle, which I have also started. A Gathering of Midnight and A Midnight So Dark and Golden by Holly Race. A Great and Terrible Beauty by Liva Bray. A Kiss After Dying by Ashok Banker. This is the proof copy. A Secret of Birds and Bones by Kira Millward-Hargrave. A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallero. A Taste of Golden Iron by Alexandra Rowland. This is an LGBT historical fiction and just stunning. Stunning. Alice Austen Lived Here by Alex Gino. Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. All American Girl and All American Girl Ready or Not by Meg Cabot. Amari and the Great Game, which was gifted to me by Celine and is by B.B. Elston. This is obviously the sequel to Amari and the Night Brothers, which I read last year. An Ember in the Ashes, A Reaper at the Gates, and A Torch Against the Night by Sabah Tahir. That I don't know if that's in the correct order. I got these from Becca's Unhaul, but I'm looking forward to these. Autobiography by Christina Lauren. Babel by R.F. Kuang, which, as you can see, not only have I started, but I have started tabbing. Babylon Steel by Gay Sebald, which you will probably know as Bad Gods. It got an updated cover, and I think we're all grateful for that. Bad Feminist by Roxane Gay. Bad Witch Burning by Jessica Lewis. Before and Laughter by Jimmy Carr. By The Hidden Culture and Society by Julia Shaw. Blackout, which is an anthology by a whole bunch of BIPOC authors, including Nick Stone, Danielle Clayton, Tiffany D. Jackson, and Whiteout, which is another collection by the same group. Bloodleaf by Crystal Smith. Bloodmarks by Tracy Dion. Bloody Rose by Nicholas Eames. Blue is the Warmest Colour by Julie Moreau. And Bluebird by Ciel Palo. Again, I've started this one. I'm expecting to finish this one this week, actually, so I don't know how much longer it'll be on my TBR. Hopefully not too long at all. Book of Night by Holly Black, which I would absolutely have unhauled and DNF'd if it weren't for the fact this is really pretty. Bookish Broads by Laura Marino. Boyfriend Material and Husband Material by Alexis Hall. This is Olivia's favourite romance author, so when they gave me Husband Material, I made a point to get Boyfriend Material as well because it's the first one, but also because I would like to try them both. Briefly, A Delicious Life by Nell Stevens. Bring Up the Bodies by Hilary Mantel. Buffy the Vampire Slayer Hellmouth, a Buffy and Angel event, and this was gifted to me by Olivia, so thank you, Olivia. Burn for Burn by Jenny Han. Camp by Elsie Rosen. Certain Dark Things by Silva Morena Garcia, which again I have started. I'm actually a fair way through. I'm about a third of the way through. I just haven't finished it yet. I have Chilling Effect, Prime Deceptions, and most recently, Fault Tolerance from the Chilling Effect series by Valerie Valdez. However, Raging. The fuck is that? Why? These two? And I know why. I know that you did me dirty, Harper Voyager, but I'm not happy about it. Chinese Fairy Tales and Legends by Richard Wilhelm. Cold Blood by Richard Kerridge. Confessions of a Jane Austen Addict by Laurie Vera Rigler. Cool for the Summer by Dahlia Adler. Craft in the Real World by Matthew Salaces. Or Salaces. I think I struggled with this name last time as well. And Crossing by Pajtim Statofici. Statofici? Statofici. I'm assuming the CI is a chi. I don't know why I'm assuming that. I did my best. Dark Matter, which is a sci-fi anthology of BIPOC authors. Dear Martin and Odd One Out by Nick Stone. Death Comes to Pemberley by P.D. James. Delilah Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. Down Among the Women by Faye Weldon, and the Barnes & Noble edition of Dracula by Bram Stoker. I have Dread Nation by Justina Ireland, which was also gifted to me by Kat, and I have Ducat and Dyer, Dicks for Hire by GM Nair, who is an indie author from Amazon. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. Emma by Jane Austen. Emotions Revealed by Paul Ekman, which is a non-fiction that the TV series Lie to Me was based on. Empress Crowned in Gold by Sianan Smart, and Escape Room by Christopher Edge. I have Fangs by Sarah Anderson, which was gifted to me by Sophie, so thank you, Sophie. I have Felix Ever After by Case and Calendar, and it's the one that's got the sprayed edge. I've got Fence Volume 5, and whilst this wasn't gifted to me by Keris, I would like to thank Keris from Library of Keris, because she introduced me to Fence in the first place by gifting me Volume 1. I then immediately bought Volume 2, 3 and 4 and pre-ordered Volume 5. Loved it. Love this series. Find You the Dark by Nathan Ripley. Fortuna Swan by KJ Sutton. I also have Deadly Dreams and Restless Slumber, but they are in the most awkward place to get to because I do plan on reading this series this year. And of course I've made my life really difficult by putting them in a place I can't reach. Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong, Four Dead Queens by Astrid Schult, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, and the entire Furyborn trilogy, which you know I have because hopefully you've seen my video where I talk about how this is another series that I would like to get to this year. Girl Meets Boy by Ali Smith, Girl Logic by Eliza Schlesinger, Girl Serpent Thorn by Melissa Bachar-Dust, Glass Coffin by Gabby Hutchinson Crouch, which is the third in the Darkwood trilogy, and I'm really excited to get to it. Go Hunt Me by Kelly DeVos. Godkiller by Hannah Kana, which arrived 5 minutes before I started filming and has a really funky sprayed edge. And Gods of Jada Shadow, which doesn't have a dust jacket at all, so I'm really looking forward to designing one for 2023. Godslayers by Zoe Hanamakuta. Grave Doubts and Heaven Sent, which is the last two in the Mediator series. I need to get to these soon because I didn't realise it's actually been 2 years since I first started my reread of the Mediator series, so I need to catch up. And then I have a new retelling of Greek myth by Charlotte Higgins. This is meant to be like a feminist retelling of the myths. And I also have the big DK book of Greek myths, which was worked on by Jean Menzies of the same name, booktuber. My glasses are starting to steam up. Good. We're on G. We're not even a third of the way through the alphabet and I'm already hot. Very hot. Hearts and Bones by Niamh Mulvey. Hellbent by Lee Bardugo. Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. Holes by Louisa Shah. Honest by Millie Evans. Hook, Line and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson. How Beautiful We Were by Mbolo Mbu. How to Be Popular by Meg Cabot. Idle Burning by Renu Sami. Inferior by Angela Saini. Influential by Amara Sage. Invisible Women by Caroline Criado Perez. Iron Gold and Dark Age by Pierce Brown. This is such a good series. They are huge. Ithaca by Claire North. Jade Fire Gold by June C.L. Tan, which was gifted to me by Celine. Thank you very much, Celine. Jinx by Meg Cabot, Julia and the Shark, and Leah and the Blue Fox by Kira Millward Hargraves, and Just Ignore Him by Alan Davies. Lakelaw by Anna Marie McLemore, Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe, which was gifted to me by Abby, thank you Abby. Learwife by J.R. Thorpe, which is a proof copy. Leech by Hiron Enns, which is also a proof copy. Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. Leviathan Awakes by James A. Corey. Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. Little Witch Academia, which is by Trigger and Yo Yoshinari. This is a really cute manga that I just discovered. Like I literally just stumbled across it and it looks super cute and I'm excited because it looks great. Locks by Ashley Nugent. Longborn by Joe Baker. These are really heavy. Lore Olympus volumes 1, 2 and 3 because I read the webtoons and adored them, and I've got every copy as it's come out. I think volume 4 is out very soon, and I'm kind of waiting for them to all come out so I can do a massive reread because I absolutely adore this series. Persephone is just such a great character and just all the doggos are cute. Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. The Love Hypothesis was my first read of 2022 and an immediate 5 stars. So I don't know why I'm waiting on this because I know it's going to be good. I know I'm going to adore it. And Lurking in the Dark, which is an anthology that I got because Amy McCaw, who wrote Mina and the Undead, has a short story in this. Mad and Bad, Real Heroines of the Regency by Bay Koch. Malice by John Gwynn. Matrix by Lauren Groff. Melissa by Alex Gino. Midnight Moon by Jean Montague, which I'm devastated is no longer in print because if you like Bridgerton, I would absolutely recommend this. It's so good. So as you can tell, it's a reread. Mina and the Slayers by Amy McCaw. Monsters in the Mist by Juliana Brandt. Mort by Terry Pratchett. Mrs. England by Stacey Halls. Much Ado About You by Samantha Young, which was gifted to me by Olivia. Thank you, Olivia. Mud, Mauler Mascara by Catherine Spencer, which was gifted to me by Catherine Spencer. Not Good for Maidens by Tori Bovolino. Not So Pure and Simple by Lamar Giles. Notting Hill Carnival by Candice Carty-Williams. Of Light and Darkness by Shane Layton, which was gifted to me by Kat. Thank you, Kat. Out of the Sun by Essie Edigan, which was unhauled to me from Olivia. Oxygen Mask by Jason Reynolds, which was also given to me by Olivia. There is a bit of a theme with the next few books. I don't know if you can tell what it is. The first one is Pride by Ibby Zaboy. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Pride, Prejudice and Zombies by Seth Graham. Pride and Premeditation and Sense and Second Degree Murder by Tertia Price. And Pride, Prejudice and Other Flavours and Recipe for Persuasion by Sonali Dev. Can you see a theme? I've got Priest by Sierra Simone, but I also have Saint, Sinner, and Midnight Mass, because why not read the entire collection? The only thing I'm disappointed about is that this copy is falling apart. Like, half the pages have fallen out. Like, that's not even an exaggeration. They are literally coming away from the binding. So I may have to replace that one, which I'm not best pleased about, because technically that means adding one to my shelf. It also means removing one from my shelf. It's a whole thing. It annoys me. Princess Academy by Shannon Hale. Pages & Co. The Book Smugglers by Anna James. Pants on Fire by Meg Cabot. Paris Dalencourt is About to Crumble by Alexis Hall. Partners in Crime by Alicia Rye. People Person by Candice Carty-Williams. Obviously the entire Percy Jackson series, of which I can still throw like a rugby ball. Reputation by Lex Croucher. Rise Up, The Stormzy Story So Far by Stormzy. Rivers of London by Ben Aronovich. I think I managed to get that one right. Rizzio by Denise Mina. Rapunzella or Don't Touch My Hair by Ella McLeod. I have Saga Volume 10. I will probably reread Saga Volumes 1 to 9. Have my heart broken all over again. I have been warned by Becca that Saga Volume 10 is also going to break my heart, so I have that to look forward to. Sailor Moon Volumes 1 to 3. Sanditon by Jane Austen, which I have TBR'd a couple of times, but will not be unhauling it if I TBR it and don't read it again because it's so cute. Self-Made Boys by Anna Marie McLemore, which is another Gatsby retelling, which I think I've ever read one Gatsby retelling, and I've never read the original Gatsby story, so there's a potential video in that. Shakespeare for Grown-Ups by E. Foley and B. Coates. Sharp's Enemy by Bernard Conwell. She Drives Me Crazy by Kelly Quinlan. She Went All the Way by Meg Cabot. She's Too Pretty to Burn by Wendy Hurd, and this was gifted to me by Jamie, so thank you, Jamie. Signal to Noise by Sylvia Browner Garcia. This is one of her older stories that have been reproduced, so I'm really excited to get to that. Skyward, but not the Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. This is a graphic novel about there not being any gravity on Earth, so that's quite fun. So Happy For You by Celia Lesky. This is a thriller set during a wedding. The Sookie Stackhouse box set, which I can still flip about, but it's more likely to fall out because I've taken the plastic off. I have started Dead Until Dark, which is the first one, and I did think about putting these in that part, but it's Sookie Stackhouse. Soul Music by Terry Pratchett. Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerry Maniscalco. Star-Crossed, Dreamless, and Goddess by Josephine Angelini. This is a Paris and Helen of Troy retelling. Very Twilight-esque. I'm probably going to hate it, but I have kept these so that I can reread them, so fingers crossed they're actually good. Stay Gold by Toby McSmith. Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered. Stoneblind by Natalie Haynes. This is a Medusa retelling and really pretty. I'm going to love this. I have no doubt I'm going to love this. Straight On Till Morning by KJ Sutton. This was gifted to me by Becca, so thank you very much, Becca. Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares by Lainey Taylor. Do I like the fact that I have one in paperback and one in hardback? No. But this was free, so I can't really complain. Fence, Striking Distance, because technically it's just called Striking Distance, and Disarmed, which are, again, sequels to the graphic novels. Very excited to get to these. Very excited to get to these. Subscribed by Chen Zhao, which is a business book I keep meaning to get to. And Surrounded by Bad Bosses and Lazy Employees by Thomas Erickson, which again is a business book that I keep meaning to get to and then not prioritising. And now we have the teas. I'm going to make myself a tea, because by the time I've made tea, had tea, I should have some semblance of lineup for the teas. I'm going to be here all day. Do you have any idea how many books I own that begin with the? I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break to show you just the teas. So, wish me luck. The 7 Perspectives of Effective Leaders, which is another business book. Tales of the Hinterland by Melissa Albert. That Moment When by Mo Gilligan. The Appeal by Janice Hallett. The Agathas by Kathleen Glasgow and Liz Lawson. The Automatic Customer. The Babysitter's Coven by Kate Williams, which was gifted to me by Olivia. Thank you, Olivia. The Black Hawks by David Ragg. The Blackbird Girls by Anna Blankman. The Book Eaters by Sunyi Dean, and this is the Waterstones edition. The Bromance Book Club, which was gifted to me by Hannah Ryan. Thank you, Hannah. The Cherry Rubbers by Sarai Walker. The Children of Jocasta by Natalie Haynes. The Coward by Jared McGuinness, which, as you can see, I have also already started. The Dance Tree by Kieran Millward Hargraves. The Dark Lady by Akala. The Darkening by Sunya Mara, which I got at Yalk. The Daughter of Dr. Moreau by Silvia Morella Garcia, which again is the Waterstones edition. The Death of Grass by John Christopher, which was gifted to me by Kirsty. Thank you, Kirsty. The Diviners trilogy, which is unnecessarily large, and also, again, why? Why? I got these from Olivia's unhaul, and there was immediate regret when they arrived because I just saw them flat. I didn't realise they would be like... I mean, mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd-Jones. The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey. The Fall of Usher and Other Writings by Edgar Allan Poe. The Final Strife by Sarah El Arifi, which apparently has fat phobia in it, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it is the Waterstones edition, so I'm going to give it a go. The First Woman by Jennifer Nansugba. By Jennifer Macumbi. By Jennifer Macumbi. I'm really sorry. I tried the middle name so many times and I just kept fucking it up, and I was like, I'm just going to make this worse. But again, have started it. This is a Luna Book Club pick that I meant to have read already and I haven't yet. The Flames of Albion by Jean Menzies. The Foundling by Stacey Halls, which was gifted to me by Olivia. Thank you, Olivia. The Friend Scheme by Kale Dietrich. The Garden of Evening Mists by Tan Tweneng. The Girl Who Speaks Bear and The House of Chicken Legs by Sophie Anderson. The God of Lost Words by AJ Hackworth. The Golden Enclave by Naomi Novik. The Hacienda by Isabel Quinez. The Heiress by Molly Greeley. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, which, if you didn't know, we are doing a read-along for, so make sure to check out that. The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren. The Human Origins of Beatrice Porter and Other Essential Ghosts by Soraya Palmer. The Infinite and The Time Thief by Patience Agbabi. The Intoxicating Mr. Lavelle by Neil Blackmore. The Iron Duke trilogy by Maljean Brooke. I have 4, 5 and 6 of the Ixia Chronicles to read by Maria V. Snyder, which is a great series. The Poison Study series is so good. And again, very excited to get back into this world. The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan. The Key in the Lock by Beth Underdown. The King is Dead by Benjamin Dean. The Ladies of Grace Adieu and Other Stories by Susanna Clarke. The Last Bear by Hannah Gold. The Last Hero by Terry Pratchett. The Lies of Locke Lamora trilogy, which is technically a reread, but I'm desperate for the 4th book to come out, so I'm going to reread these bad boys. The Life and Medieval Times of Kit Sweetley by Jamie Paxton, which again I have started but barely. The Long Way to a Small and Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. The Love Curse of Melody McIntyre by Robin Talley, which again was gifted to me by Olivia. Thank you, Olivia. I need to do a vlog where I just read the books Olivia gave me. The Luminaries by Susan Dennard, which I am not massively excited about because I really didn't enjoy The Wind Witch. I was definitely, like, I think I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, but that was just because it was really popular. I'm not like that anymore. I'm not convinced I'm going to like this either. The Lux Quartet by Anna Godsbusson. The Madwoman's Ball by Victoria Mars, which I literally started yesterday. If I'd finished it yesterday, would have made my life easier today, but I didn't. The Manningtree Witches by A.K. Blackmore. The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. I've just realised that this is A Marvellous Night, not The Marvellous Light. But because I don't have the dust jacket anymore, I didn't realise that. But I have this one too. The Monarchs by Kath Morgan and Danielle Page. The Mysteries of Udolpho by Anne Radcliffe. The Naked Jape by Jimmy Carr and Lucy Greaves. The Night Ship by Jess Kidd. The Office of Historical Collections by Danielle Evans. The Old Woman with the Knife by Gu Byung-mo. I tried. We're not sure what this bit of hair's doing, but it's having a party. The Other Bennett Sister by Janice Hadlow. The Penelopead by Margaret Atwood. The Picture of Dorian Gray and Other Plays by Oscar Wilde. The Power of Hades by Eliza Rain, which was also gifted to me by Sophie, so thank you very much, Sophie. The Princess Bride by William Goldman, which was gifted to me by my mum. Thank you, mum. The entire Princess Diaries. There's too many of them. I'm not bringing them all down because they're out of their plastic now and I will drop them. I also have the Prison Healer trilogy, but again, it's in a really awkward place and I'm not getting it down. I'm just not doing that today. The Queen of Ismorez, or Ismoroz, which apparently is book 2. Fuming. Fuming that I've book 2, but not book 1, 3 or 4. Love that for me. But that's by John Scovron. The Rabbit Hutch by Tess Gunty. The Reluctant Vampire Queen by Jo Simmons. The Rig by Roger Levy, which is another tome. The Rubbish Book by James Piper. The Sad Ghost Club Volume 2 by Liz Meddings. The Sanatorium by Sarah Pearce. The Secret Sunshine Project by Benjamin Dean. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I finally caved. I finally bought a copy. I bought a second-hand copy. I bought it from a charity shop, but people keep telling me I need to read this. It's a booktube darling that I don't think I'm going to enjoy, but I have it. So I get brownie points for that at least. The Shadows of Rookhaven by Patrick Kenny. The Silence of the Girls and the Women of Troy by Pat Barker. The Silver Chain by Gian Shibani. The Sisters of Winterwood by Rena Rossner. The Six Wives of Henry VIII by Alison Weir. The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. The Skeleton Key by Erin Kelly. The Sunbearer Trials by Aidan Thomas. The Thing About Jellyfish by Ali Benjamin, which was gifted to me by Priscilla. Thank you, Priscilla. The Things We Do to Our Friends by Heather Darwent. The Turnout by Megan Abbott. The Vanishing of Evelyn Jones by Phil Hicks. We Free Men by Terry Pratchett. The Whirling Trilogy by Stephen Cool, which is The Wounded, The Prey and Resurrection. The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrews. The Winter Duke by Claire Eliza Bartlett. The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels and the League of Gentlewomen by India Holton. The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reid. The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson, which was gifted to me by Ashley. Thank you, Ashley. There's Someone Inside Your House and The Woods Are Always Watching by Stephanie Perkins. These Witches Don't Burn by Isabel Starling. Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. This Time Will Be Different by Misa Segura. Toil and Trouble, which is an anthology edited by Jessica Spotswood, which was gifted to me by Priscilla. Thank you, Priscilla. Tokyo Ever After by Amiko Jean, which is basically a BIPOC Princess Diaries. Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. And 12 Caesars by Mary Beard, the last T on this list. I'm out of breath, I'm hot, and my glasses are steaming up. Okay, home stretch, last 40-ish. Unseen Academicals by Terry Pratchett. Vampirates 2 to 6 by Justin Somper. Velvet Was the Night by Sylvia Morella Garcia. Victoria and the Rogue by Meg Cabot. Violent Love Volume 2 by Frank J. Barbier. Violet Made of Thorns by Gina Chan. We Ride the Storm, We Cry for Blood, and We Lie with Death by Devin Madsen. Warlock Holmes, A Study in Brimstone. We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. Well, That Was Unexpected by Jessie Q. Santanto. What Moved the Dead by T. Kingfisher. What's Mine Is Yours by Naima Costa, and that's a proof copy. Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angeles. White is for Witching by Helen Oyemi. Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Renee Edo-Lodge. When I Was the Greatest by Jason Reynolds. When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. Wings of Fury by Emily R. King. Winterwood by Shea Earnshaw. Wish You Weren't Here and Out of Service by Gabby Hutchinson Crouch. With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. Woman Eating by Claire Conda. Women in Power by Mary Beard. Working Hard, Hardly Working by Grace Beverly. Wranglestone and Timberdark by Darren Charlton. Year of the Reaper by Mika Lucia. Yellow Jessamine by Caitlin Starling. Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi. And finally, the last book on my Owned TBR so far, at the moment, as we currently stand, is You Truly Assumed by Layla Sabrine. I'm exhausted. That was exhausting. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a little book stack down below to let me know that you made it this far. I'm super proud of you if you did. And if you think there is a book on this list that I should prioritise and try and get into next month's TBR, leave that as a comment down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Treat yourself to something from Waypoint because it supports me and my content. And most importantly, have a nice day.